They said it couldn't be done. They said it wouldn't last. White man, black man. America F1. America F1 coming to you straight from San Francisco, California. Sherman Tillman, Michael Lawler. America F1. Like this.
Welcome to the review of the Japanese Grand Prix.
Redbull 2023 World Champions. This is the beginning. We're about to have it out. We're going to have a drink and celebrate Red Bull, even though we've been talking shit about them the whole year.
We have been talking shit about Red Bull
I started at the beginning saying this is going to be a schlemazel, and it's been a schlemazel. Schlemazel?
House and Pepper Corporated.
Anyway, I'm going to get into the drink now.
We're going to do it.
Congratulate Max and the team.
Congratulations to Red Bull. Max Verstappen.
Big rocks.
Big rocks. I love it.
Here, put those on so everyone can see.
Big rocks.
Big rocks. Big rocks.
And we're going to celebrate with Red Bull.
Drunk Mike.
Drunk Mike is back in the house.
We haven't had Drunk Mike in a while.
Mike has been drinking.
Drunk Mike's had one drink since I got here, but whatever.
I don't know why. Mike has been drinking. So, congrats again to Red Bull, back-to-back.
No.
Constructors champions.
Yeah, they didn't win the other one because really Mercedes won that championship.
Well, they did win the championship. It's just that Hamilton didn't win.
Hamilton won the championship, but it's like they didn't give it to him.
6 constructor championships for Red Bull, 4 by Vettel, 2 by Verstappen, and we probably are predicting that they're going to win next year also.
No, don't say that.
I think they're going to win next year.
Don't say that crap.
Hey, you heard it here first. But one thing.
Here,
Cheers.
to Red Bull.
To Red Bull.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh.
Did you stir it? Did you stir it?
Stir it with your finger.
Oh, stir it.
You got a finger. You got to be the pinky. You got to do the pinky. Come on.
I'm stirring it with my finger.
So my brother, I did this to him in the pandemic.
All right.
Cheers.
We're like Lewis Hamilton after he had. You just see that?
What do you do?
And so in the interviews after the race, he has a nice Santoro.
Oh, Santoro.
Yeah, with no ice. And people were like, "What's that?" And I knew instantly what it was.
Because you saw what's that movie? Lost in Translation?
No,
Santoro
I did not see that.
That's the whole point of that. That was the big thing in the movie.
Well, I didn't see the movie.
You've never seen Lost in Translation?
No, that's
with Bill Murray?
Bill Murray. No, I never saw it.
Oh my God, okay. It's one of those movies. Everybody out there, you'll watch it and you'll be like, "What the f is this movie about?"
Really?
Because it's
Bill Murray.
It's like
I love Bill Murray.
It's like a chick flick, but it's not a chick flick because they never actually do anything together. But they're together. It's weird. It's a weird movie. Great movie. Watch that movie.
Bill Murray and who?
Scarlett Johansson when she was 17.
Dude, she is such a great actress.
And, well, she was great then when she was 17. And who's the dude who did The Godfather?
Oh, you mean Marlon Brando?
No, the director.
Francis Ford Coppola.
His daughter did Lost in
Sophie
Translation.
Coppola.
Sophie Coppola.
Look at the big
horrible actress, great director.
Look at the big brain on me. I know these actors and actresses.
Because remember when we were kids, we got to get one movie a week.
Yeah.
It was one movie a week.
Yeah.
And we had to pick it right. Because going to the movies was a big deal because the sound, the movie, the whole thing,
yeah.
And now the movies...
They stink right now.
Dude, I tried to read a book recently, and it was like written for a 3-year-old.
I'll tell you the only 2 movies that I liked the last couple years were both Tom Cruise movies.
No, Dolomite.
You
haven't seen Dolomite?
Why? Dolomite is on Netflix. That's first. So I don't count movies that I can watch at home as movie. Right? We're talking about movies that we have to go to the theater.
We can't go to we don't go to the theater anymore.
I do.
I never go. I've been in a movie theater since 1999.
I saw the Indiana Jones movie.
The new one?
The new one, yes.
Was it any good?
It was okay. It was okay.
That's not a good recommendation, Sherman. Come on.
I'd watch it at home.
But you paid money to go to the
And then I saw Oppenheimer.
Was that any good?
I liked Oppenheimer.
Was
it
could have
been 30 minutes shorter. It was long as
God,
hell,
it's like you see a great movie, you see a really good movie you like, and you're like, I wish it was shorter, but you recommend it then?
Yeah,
Okay,
I would
you're
see
gonna
Top
love
Gun.
this story.
Wait,
I was working.
Top Gun 2.
Okay, Top
Great
Gun.
movie. Mission Impossible. 8
Oppenheimer.
or whatever.
Oppenheimer. I was working in Kensington, California, which is above Berkeley, California.
Okay.
Guess whose house I was working in?
George Lucas?
Oppenheimer's house.
No way.
For real.
For real?
For real. And
No
the guy
way,
who owned
dude.
the house now, and it was like a nice house. It wasn't like a mansion, or because he was still a college professor at the time.
Okay.
Great view of San Francisco, nice house. They were having it redone at the time. When the guy told me this was Oppenheimer's house, it was like my eyeballs popped out of my head. I was like,
That's awesome.
I swear to God, I said, Oppenheimer? Like, I swear to God, I said it just like that. Because remember, this guy, he invented the atom. He could
He didn't invent the atom. He
well, no, I mean, but
the bomb. He didn't invent the atom. Atom's
he
always
didn't invent the atom, but it was like he gets credit for him. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is this guy was so influential, he could have ended the world. That's how important he was.
Yeah, you're right.
And I got to work. I worked in his house, and I was schlepping drink, and I worked there a bunch of times because they used us when I had a catering company for everything. So
why do I always get the shitty mic?
no, you have
I got the great
you
mic,
just don't
the
know how
boom
to
part.
use a mic stand.
No, look, the stand always like.
You have to turn the
Look,
thing.
so look, see how it sinks?
Oh my God!
It always does
Here.
this.
No, it
It's
doesn't.
very frustrating.
Here, hold on.
Very frustrating.
There you
Frustrating.
go.
Don't
It's
laugh
not
at
frustrating.
Me.
See,
laugh
there
at
it
me.
is. Perfect.
All right,
Perfection.
is that perfect? Perfection.
We are going to be moving to a new studio.
Not yet, but
In 2024.
2024 we will have a new studio.
Me and Sherman are going to go over there. I'm going to go over there next week, and when I have a day off from work, I'm working every goddamn day. I'm sick of this work and shit. But we're going to go over to Sherman's house, and we're going to build a real America F1 studio.
It's gonna be awesome.
And his daughter's we're going to build one for his daughter too.
We're gonna have 3 cameras, so we'll have like a camera for me.
We'll
a
have my
camera for
brother
Mike,
come over, and he yells at us
so
all the
great.
time about how unprofessional the show is.
So
But we're going to make it work. Here, and I want to salute Redbull.
Again?
No,
How many times you want to salute?
No, I'm sorry. I've been talking so much lip about this year, about how bad this year has been.
It has been.
But this is a constructors' championship. This isn't a drivers' championship, and people don't seem to comprehend. They watch that stupid Drive to Survive show. These guys, what they did this year, I didn't think anybody would ever beat the 2004 Ferrari. I didn't think anyone would ever come close, and they whooped. No, this is a better car than the Op 4.
This is, I think, probably the best car that's ever been built.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I say that is Max actually could have won the championship just on his points alone.
He's got unless
Just
he
him.
dies in
him.
transit, then Sergio wins. The only way he's not going to win the championship is if he dies. That's the only way.
Well, he wins just by participating. I think as long as he finishes in the top 10, he's...
No, he's going to win he's going to win the rest of the races. That's
No,
my
but I'm just saying, next race in Qatar,
What? It's
all
Qatar?
he has to do
Oh.
is just finish in the top 10. He's
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
it's like
individual
Qatar's not even. Anyways,
So let's talk about our DNFs. Let's get right to it.
our DNFs.
Did
Logan
not finish.
Sargent.
So that's what I want to talk about. So let's.
I was wrong about Logan Sargent. I think he had a lucky race, which I thought was like his coming out party.
Yes.
I think Liam's going to be in the car next year, and Mick Schumacher will be in the Williams next year. But it's not a great car. It's just a car. It's like it's a ride in Formula One.
Well, no, it's a point scoring car though. Albon gets it into the.
But
third practice.
maybe Albon's better than I thought he
Third
was.
Qualifying, he gets it into the final round.
But the whole.
Actually,
I don't know.
really like that.
The next year is probably going to be like a lot like this year.
for Williams.
No, for
everybody?
Red Bull. Yeah, I think unless the Mercedes, because I don't think the Mercedes have been bringing stuff to any of these tracks.
Yeah, but
Since they put the pod,
I think they're behind McLaren right now.
they don't care if they're behind. So what? They came in third instead of second. It means nothing. The worst person in the world is the person who comes in second. That is the worst position in the history of the world.
Well, that's
if
where
you've ever
Mercedes
finished
is
a
coming
race in second place, and I've done that, I've only done that once, and I started 18th. I finished second, but Everyone said it was like a win to me.
That sounds like a win.
It
started 18th.
It was the first race where I like actually figured everything out, and then after that, it was hard to beat. But anyways,
let's get into the race because
instead we're going to talk about Uncle Mike.
we're way off tangent.
Come on, finish your drink. Come on, let's go.
I'm gonna finish. All right. So let's do our DNFs for the race. Our DNFs were Bottas.
Oh, Bottas had an issue, right?
He did. He got hit in the beginning of the race.
Did he get hit by Perez?
He got hit. Everybody got hit by Perez. Perez hit somebody in the stands. I mean, this guy is looking.
He hit
really
even
bad.
the pace car. Anyways, Perez. Ever since Perez has been on Red Bull, they've won the championship every year. So he's not going nowhere.
And he has a big fan base. But we'll talk
and
about
he brings
him later.
we'll
talk about him later.
Is it Telmel or whatever?
Telemex?
Yeah, he brings that's a
He
lot
brings
of
a lot of
money.
money. He brings more money than pretty much anybody else I think could bring. Because he has...
No.
Who's bringing more money than him right now?
Stroll.
Well, he owns the team.
Never mind. Next question.
All right, so Stroll, obviously, DNF. Perez, DNF.
Stroll DNF'd? What the fuck? What did he do?
He DNF'd.
When?
He didn't finish the race. Neither did Albon, neither did Sargent. Now, talk about Sargent.
Oh, Albon, they made him come into the pits.
Well, because he got hit by, guess who?
Perez.
Yeah, wow.
Anyways.
So, talk about your guy. Since we're talking about DNFs, what's up with your boy Logan Sargent? He is looking so... He can... they have this thing...
Okay, now I talked about him over and over again, right?
Wait. They have this thing called the... it shows it is a chart. It shows how much they're costing in crashing.
That was Schumacher last year.
Yeah. So Sargent has cost €3 million already.
Well, his family can afford to pay that, but that's not the point. I thought he's a freaking rookie. Every rookie, even Michael Schumacher, even Max Verstappen, chucked cars in their rookie, even their second year. Even your boy Yukai, who just got confirmed for...
Told you he was. Told you.
I don't think he's any good. But anyways, they all chuck cars. And it's like, but nowadays it's so much more important because of the salary cap. So him chucking $3 million worth of cars, not the best thing for Logan Sargent, but that one race, he showed up, he did so good.
One race, and then
get
Liam coming in, and every race he's looking good.
Well, Liam looks good. He was
every race.
Yeah, but it's like
he's had 3 races. He looks good 3 times.
You know how much I talked about Logan Sargent at the beginning.
A lot, and he deserves it.
And then he did that one race where he did good, and it was like I thought he had turned the corner.
Race number 17 or 18? Come on.
Yeah. Well, he's still got a few races to go till they're going to make a decision.
Yeah,
they're not just going to like.
Yeah, they're not going to chuck him
because he's bringing money.
He's bringing in
and Liam is going to bring Red Bull money, which is money too. He's going to bring Red Bull going to pay to put him in the Williams. So don't think about that. Don't. If Sargent doesn't put up the next few races, Liam will be in that car. I don't think Schumacher will be in the car. I think Schumacher's going to be an IndyCar next year.
So listen to this. So the head of Williams, which was the head of was
Knowles.
Yeah,
Knowles. It's not.
Yeah, that's his name.
Vowles. Yeah.
He was at Mercedes,
and he was one of the league the head management there.
Right, and so
and he picked his new because he hasn't had a technical director this year, and now he does.
So
I
started drinking. Pat Fry. I can't remember the name of
Pat Fry.
No, the head of Mercedes. I can't remember his name.
What, Total Wolf?
Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't remember. Just you gave me this damn drink.
You're welcome.
So
you've taken one sip.
No, I've taken way more than one sip.
Did you have a drink before?
No. Oh. So Total Wolf sends the tape of all the simulators to Knowles. And says, look at these vowels. Vowels. Not a consonant.
Anyways, come on.
So he sends it to him, and he says, hey, you should probably think about giving this guy a seat. Look at these times. And Vowles checks out the times and goes, no, I don't think so.
Because you know what? I believe Total Wolf is Schumacher's manager. Or manager, whatever.
All right, finishing. Let's do our 10-1. Finishing in 10th place, Pierre Gasly.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
So Pierre and Ocon swapped on the last lap, and we'll talk about it when we have it a little bit later.
Okay.
And ninth place.
Let's just say, please, Alpine or Renault or whatever the hell you call yourselves, please come back as Renault next year and stop with the blue and the pink car. It's just
I know. It's
hideous to watch. It's like
awful.
And you need to get like you need to bring Ross Brawn back, or Pat Simmons, who they're the ones who made that team great back in the day. Anyways,
bring back the black and yellow freaking
my God,
bumblebee color. I love that.
Or just
I love
yeller.
that
Yeller would be great. Anyways,
I love that.
Or just make the car pink with the BWT brand. I love
that too. I love that too. At first, I didn't like it.
But you could see it on the track, though. That's the whole point.
It grew on me.
And they need drivers.
No, don't stop saying it.
Anyway,
Gasly and Ocon are good drivers.
They put Vettel in that car. Oh my God! And they had a team principal like Ross Brawn or Pat Simmons or somebody good.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, but
in ninth place, Esteban Ocon. So it's double point finishes for
Who's in number 8?
Number 8, Fernando Alonso, which seems to be where they're finishing every race now, 8th or 7th.
I told you this that when they change the tires, they're fucked, and they're fucked now. I mean, the Mercedes is faster than the Aston Martin.
So for those of you who don't know, all the way back in Austria.
Is it Austria when they did that?
All the way back in Austria, the Pirelli had changed the tires. All the compounds were changed. And that benefited, it seems like, out of all the teams, it benefited McLaren the most.
Oh, yeah.
And it didn't benefit
anybody else.
Yeah, Aston at all.
And now there's like this rumor on the internet that the McLaren team is going to bring it to Red Bull next year. No, they're not.
No, they're not. No, because didn't.
If anyone brings it to Red Bull next year, it's going to be Mercedes, because they ain't spent a dime this year on their car. They're spending all their money on next year's car and then next year's car money. They're going to have something for Red Bull, because someone's going to figure out what the hell Red Bull's doing.
With the DRS.
This nonsense that's been going on this whole year, where it's like they open up the DRS and it's like a jet engine shows up. It's like, but I think at Monaco, when they saw the bottom side of their car,
yeah.
Everybody knows what they're doing now, but it's going to take them till next year to put it into play.
It out. I don't know why
they can't. No, because they can't do anything this year. The championship's already over, anyways. But because of the money, the stupid price cap thing they have now, nobody could come up with something for the Red Bull. But anyways,
speaking of the price cap, one thing that's interesting. So the price cap is $140 million for those out there who didn't know.
I thought it was $120 million.
$140 million.
And all these teams aren't spending $140 million.
Only teams that spends $140 is Mercedes,
Red Bull probably paying $240 million.
McLaren, they're probably the only three.
Not McLaren. McLaren don't have the money.
Aston Martin's probably spending that money. And so
I don't know what Aston Martin are spending, because they built their new factory. They built a wind tunnel.
Yeah, I think they're spending.
They have Honda coming in in a couple years.
But before this price cap, just to put it in perspective, Mercedes was spending $300 to $400 million.
They all were. No, okay.
Red Bull was spending.
Sherman doesn't understand what's going on.
What do you mean I don't understand? What the fuck you mean I don't understand?
2020, in 2020, the Mercedes team won the championship, right?
Excuse me?
The Mercedes team won the championship, right?
What year?
2020.
Yes.
Okay.
And 21.
And I think they spent $200 or $300 million on their team that year.
Mm-hmm.
Mercedes itself only spent about $14 million on the team. All the sponsors, their money they made from winning races and everything, that paid for everything else.
Right.
So remember, these people are all.
Oh, Ferrari spends a lot of money.
They're all business people. They're like they have a budget. Except Ferrari does not have a. I mean, Ferrari never had a budget. Well, Toyota didn't have a budget. Yeah. This crazy price crap. I call it the price crap, because
how come I finish my drink and you're talking about nurse mating? Look, yours is.
I told you I'm not much of a drinker. Anyways,
half full, and mine's already almost gone.
Salute to Red Bull. Cheers. We're gonna have another drink in a minute.
So, going back to 10-1, Russell in 7th place.
Russell came in and Lewis came in 6th.
No. Carlos Sainz came in 6th.
Oh, really?
Lewis Hamilton came in 5th. Charles Leclerc came in 4th place. Oscar Piastri.
Oh, that's right.
For
He gave
his first podium.
Salute, brother. Cheers to New Zealand. Salute.
And he would have. The thing that I like about Oscar, and for those out there,
We like to call him Pastrami,
we do call him Pastrami.
even though his name is Oscar Piastri. Anyways.
So this is his first podium. He's had such a great rookie season, but put it in perspective.
He's had a very good rookie. He's a very good driver.
He's a very good driver, and he even said, and this is why I like Oscar. He's very introspective. What he said, he's like, "Hey, I'm doing really well over one lap. My qualifying is really great, but what I have to do better is my race pace because I don't know how to manage the tires yet."
Well, yeah, he got passed by his teammate.
Yeah.
They moved him.
Yeah, they did because he's going too slow because the horse was fast.
Well, he ran his tires off the car.
Yeah, but that's what he said. He said, "I have to." He said,
We have to take Sherman to the track and teach him how to drive so he knows about tires, but he ran the tires off. He ran the rear tires off the car.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to explain is his introspective ability to look at himself and say, what I need to learn is to be better on managing my tires. He said all the way up on every level, you just get in the car and you go. But at this level, I have to learn how to manage my tires.
That means not sliding through the center of the corner or letting the front of the car, which is what Max did at Singapore, and he couldn't help it. And we're gonna have a huge episode where we're gonna take Sherman and his son to the racetrack. I'm paying for his go-kart day, and then I'm gonna make him pay for a brand new set of tires once he figures it out. Now I'm not saying it's gonna be that.
Shit.
Oh, you're paying.
No, you're paying for everything.
And when we put a new set of tires on the car, then
everything.
he'll know 10 seconds after he presses down on the accelerator pedal what the tires mean.
So I do already know what the tires
No,
mean.
he knows nothing about
know because I did.
I can hardly wait till he says into the camera, Uncle Michael's right. I don't know nothing about auto racing.
I already know.
No, he doesn't already know.
He thinks he knows everything. That's okay.
I don't think I know everything. I know I don't know everything. One thing I don't know about is tires.
Anyway,
Sherman knows
second place. Lando Calrissian.
All right, what's this? He's on the podium again.
But second. He's had more second places this year in his whole career.
So
he still hasn't won a race.
Still hasn't won a race.
Still hasn't won.
Guess who the last person to win a race for McLaren?
Probably Lewis Hamilton.
No.
Ricardo?
Ricardo.
Yeah.
2022.
That's right. He won 21.
21. Won the what race did he win?
Did he win Monaco?
No.
I don't offhand.
He won Monza, baby.
That's right. He won that.
And then they fired him. Because the car doesn't work for him.
No, because in 20...
The car didn't work for Ricciardo. And then he gets in the Red Bull. The first time he gets in the Red Bull.
Of 21, he was dog awful.
The car did not work for him.
He got destroyed by Norris. And it's the same thing that's happening to Perez. And we'll talk about it in a second. But number one, Max, Supermax, Verstappen. Again. Starting his new streak.
His name is Verstappen, not Verstappen.
Starting his new streak.
He's
going to win the rest of the races.
I'm going to win the rest of the races this year and all the races next year.
He's going to win. He's going to probably win like 5 in a row.
Why
don't you make me another drink?
Yes, sir.
Give me a break here. What are you doing? You're a nursemaid over there.
All right.
So, interesting thing about Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. Now, it's really, really getting hot over there at Mercedes. Because this is the second race in a row that Russell has gotten team orders to move the hell out of the way.
Remember to pinky that.
Why is he getting team orders? Because
you got to pinky it.
Lewis Hamilton's race pace is so much faster than Russell.
Russell, he's a better driver.
He is a better driver. But Russell cooks his tires. And then he went on a one-stop strategy. Now.
No, that wasn't his. He didn't go on a one-stop.
He did.
The team went on a one-stop strategy.
First of all, be quiet.
The driver doesn't...
I'm talking right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, be quiet. Because
Yes, sir, Captain Tillman.
I'm going to explain it to you, and then you can chime in after I explain it
All
to you.
right, come on.
Because I watched the race like 10 times. You watch it like maybe once, and you're cooking at the same time, and you're probably drinking. Okay?
I wasn't drinking. I was cooking, though.
See? I told you. Okay, so Suzuka is one of the hardest tracks in the whole calendar on your tires. And Pirelli puts out this infographic, and it tells you what what it does to the lateral force, how the tires are wearing, and Suzuka's 5 on lateral force and also wear of the tires. So a 1 stop in Suzuka typically never works. It's always a 2 or a 3 stop. So George Russell went over the radio and said, let's go to plan B.
And they said no.
No, they said yes.
Oh, did they?
That was the 1 stop.
Oh, he wanted to do the 1 stop.
Yes, because he was ahead. He had track position. At that time on the track, he was second. And all this motherfucker cares about is beating Lewis Hamilton.
Duh, that's his job.
But here's the rub. He's like 80 points behind Lewis. Lewis is vying for second in a championship. George is 8th.
Remember, Lewis is still not happy about
Here's
Russell.
how it happened. I'm going to read it to you.
Lewis is still not happy about Russell being on that team.
I'm going to read it to you. This is how it happened.
Oh, he's got it.
I got it written down.
He's got a whole
I got
thing.
notes, baby.
Because they never had a chance to win anything this year. Do your thing.
I got notes and I got receipts.
You got receipts?
I got receipts, baby.
I don't got no receipts.
Undefeated.
All I know is Russell is pretty good. Lewis is the GOAT. And I think Lewis is... I said this last year. I don't think he's ever going to win another Grand Prix. I can't even believe I'm saying this, but I don't think he doesn't have the car. The team is a shell of itself.
But he's won Grand Prix when he didn't have the car. From 2010 to 2013, he didn't have the car. He still won.
No, he had the car. They should have won the championship in 2012. They just fucked up. The McLaren team. Anyways,
we talked about that. All right,
next.
Just listen to how this
Do your thing.
On the radio. Ham catches up to Russell in 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 06 seconds. In 1 hour and 31 minutes and 17 seconds, this is Marcus, who is the pit wall controller on the radio.
All right.
He goes, we'll invert positions. 131.25. Russell goes, repeat. 131.29. Marcus goes, okay, we'll invert positions. And he says it twice. We're going to invert positions. 131.45. Russ goes, why can't we invert on the last lap? He just keeps the DRS just like last week. Let's keep fighting for a bigger result. At 131.57, Marcus says, so it's an instruction, George.
Marcus? Who's Marcus?
I'm telling he's the guy. He's
Is he Russell's crew chief?
No, he's both. He's like under Total Wolff. He's the guy. He's the
race director.
Yeah, he's the race director. So 132 in 13 seconds, Russell says, yeah, copy. I'll do it on the main straight when I have DRS. 132 in 28 seconds, Russell says, he got new tires. Is he able to overtake me? 132.52, Marcus says, so this is an instruction. We will invert. Russell says, yes, I hear you. At 132.53, at 132.55, he says, he's not even close to me. And then, like, not even a millisecond later, Hamilton passes up Russell. And so,
okay, I don't put too much attention onto the radio thing, because that's like, you don't even know if that's real.
Well, what do you mean?
You don't know if it's
They're
real.
talking.
You don't know if it's in time either. Because didn't you say he came on the radio and said, let him by, and then he said some bullshit, and then all of a sudden he let him by? Is that what you just said?
Well, it took about a minute. So here's the point.
I don't trust the radio communication on Formula One, because I don't think it's in real time. I think the team said invert the positions. He inverted the position. It's a team.
Yeah,
he had no choice.
He didn't do it right away, though. Is the point.
It didn't seem like he did it right away, but he did do it right away.
No, he didn't.
Because didn't you say he went down the straightaway and then passed him, even though it sounded like he didn't? He said he wasn't going to let him pass him.
No, so he said he was going to let him pass, but on the straight.
I don't pay any attention to the radio communication. It's not real. You don't know if it was in time, though. That's the point I'm trying to make.
I have the times right here, Mike.
I understand on Formula One said that bullshit, but they said it on the radio. It could have been in a delay. You don't know.
Okay, but here's the point. This is the second race in a row. Well, Hamilton has fresher tires. Russell is just trying to stay ahead of Hamilton and keep up, and he's stopping Mercedes from getting more points. So
okay, this isn't the first time.
Second time.
This isn't the first time in the history of Formula One.
We're not talking about the history.
Where teammates didn't do what the team told them to do.
No, you're right. You're right.
But I think that the Mercedes team, I think they're a little more polished than that. That they're like going to be like, hey,
but they haven't been.
Let Lewis
That's
by.
The point.
But you're listening to the radio communications and you don't know if it's in real time or not.
Okay, but listen, it doesn't matter if it's in real time or if it's in
But
delay.
they were fighting at one point.
They were fighting more than one point.
And it was like stupid. It was like you can't.
Lap 7, Russell passes Hamilton, and then Hamilton
passed him back,
Russell.
yeah.
And then later on, Russell tries to pass him again, and Hamilton ran him wide. Okay, and they both.
But this is why you don't let teammates. Formula One is not a team sport. It is a constructors' championship. They are a team. Having the driver, the crap that I think that they did during this race in a couple instances, where they were like sort of pretending to race each other, is I don't know what
they weren't pretending; they were racing each other.
But at the end of the day, who ended up ahead of who?
Hamilton, of course.
Of course,
it's better like, driver.
That's not okay. That's not even him. The point I'm trying to make is Russell. I think he made a mistake and tried to think he was going to race with Hamilton. At the end of the day, they would have...
He didn't make a mistake. He's trying to do that every race.
I understand that, but he's still going to have to give the position back to Hamilton at the end of the day.
But here's the point. If he gives the damn position back, and if the team makes the decision earlier, Hamilton probably could have caught Leclerc this race, and he probably could have caught Leclerc or Sainz
but catching them and passing them are two different things. And the Ferrari was faster the other day.
He has fresher tires.
No, but the Ferrari was faster. Where did the Ferrari finish?
Ferrari finished 4th.
Okay.
The Ferrari finished 6th.
And where did the Mercedes finish?
5th and 7th.
All right, so they were about the same.
Hamilton would have passed Leclerc if they had switched on like a lap or two early.
Okay, maybe in your dream world that the Mercedes team let the two drivers...
Listen. It is not just this. Know what else it is? Their fucking pit stops are too damn slow.
The Mercedes team?
So I've looked this up. They are middle of the road
really?
when it comes to pit stops.
Well, they'll get that fixed.
No, they haven't all season. Hamilton had a 4-second pit stop, and he had a 3.2-second pit stop. The Ferrari is constantly in the 2s. We all know the Red Bull's constantly in the 2s. So
who's the other good team?
Even the McLaren is in the 2s. Well, of course, Williams is in the 2s too. But here's the thing: Mercedes is so used to having such a big pace compared to the other cars that
they didn't have to be good at pit stops.
They didn't have to be good at the pit stops.
They need to be good at pit stops now.
They really didn't even have to be good at the strategy. Now that they're not so good.
Well, Valls isn't there anymore. Valls is the guy who used to do the strategy there, I'm pretty sure. So the strategy's
not that great. So now it shows when their car is not as fast.
Yeah, but okay. Before Sherman keeps going, I just want to say this. Red Bull won the Constructors' Championship. The season's over. It doesn't matter. Next year it's going to matter. So they need to get their act together in the last few races. So we need to really be paying attention. No, we really need to be paying attention to them for the next few races.
One of the readers, or one of our listeners, Ian,
we have a listener?
Ian Bowling said,
Who?
Ian Bowling.
From where?
Off the fucking thing. I don't know.
Off
comments.
The thing. Bowling. Okay, put up here. Put your address, and we're going to call you.
George is just becoming like Verstappen, but without the talent.
That's funny, but it's
that is funny.
That's not true because remember these guys.
Without the talent. That's
these
good.
Guys all raced with each other when they were kids. They're in Formula One. They're great drivers. So I'm not gonna.
But there's levels. You know that, Mike.
Oh, absolutely. Verstappen is the best driver right now.
George is not an all-time great.
You don't know that, though.
He hasn't even won a race. He won one race.
You don't know that, though. He might get it if he gets in the best car and he wins like 20 races in a row.
He's not
and
very
wins.
consistent.
That's not true.
He's not good on his tires.
Oh my God. I don't think Sherman understands.
He burns up his tires.
No, he doesn't burn up his tires.
Well, why is at the end of the race?
He's not Lewis Hamilton.
I know.
Okay, he's not. But he
thinks he is.
No, but he's pretty good. I don't.
But he thinks he is.
If they okay.
Is he better than Norris? Who's better, Russell or Norris?
They're the same. They literally were.
Leclerc or Russell?
Russell won the. Was it 2018 or 2019 GP2 or F2 championship by 1 point over Norris? They're the same.
Okay, what about Leclerc?
Leclerc's the same. They both.
You don't think Leclerc's better than Russell?
No, they're all. I think they're all the same.
What about Sainz?
Sainz is one of those guys. I think he's good on some days, but he's not so good on other days.
In my opinion, I think Leclerc is better than Russell.
You might be right about that, but it really comes down to it.
He has 5 wins. He has
what
20,
fucking car do they? What car do they
have? Qualifying.
They have to have the car. In Formula One, you have to have the best car to win. Period.
Yeah, but I would say over the last couple of years, the Ferrari car and the Mercedes car.
Well, no, the Ferraris had the best car at the beginning of last year, and then nothing. And then the Red Bull just went by him and said, you're done. We're done. We're going to.
So let's move on, and we'll talk about our boy Perez.
Yeah, he's going to be in the car in 2024 for sure.
It's such a big gap right now.
Not really. The car is literally designed for Verstappen. Remember why did Ricciardo leave in 2018?
Well, because they were favoring Verstappen.
Yeah, because they were making the car for Verstappen.
Yeah, but they were
Even
the calls were for Verstappen.
That's exactly what that means. They designed the race car for the best driver in their team.
But
period.
That year, Ricciardo was the better driver.
He was not.
He was ahead in the points.
Okay, they designed the car for the better. Okay.
I'm just
calm down. I want us. I have to shut your mouth. They make these cars for the best driver in the team. They don't make the car for the driver 2. They make it for the driver 1. The Mercedes next year is going to be designed for Lewis Hamilton. Period. End of story. They might come out and just wax Red Bull next year. We have no idea yet. The Red Bull is specifically designed for Verstappen. Adrian Newey said, look, this car is not going to be good on the front end, so you have to drive it this way. He can drive it that way better than Perez can. You don't understand what I'm talking about.
I do understand what you're talking about.
No, he doesn't. Anyways.
I do.
The same thing happened with Schumacher. Schumacher, they designed the car for Schumacher. They designed the car.
Prick.
What?
You're a condescending prick.
I am a condescending prick because I'm going to take you up to the track. I'm going to take you up to the track, and I'm going to teach you how to drive, and then you're going to know.
I already know.
You drive a race car from the rear tires. You don't drive it from the fucking steering wheel. When I teach Sherman how to drive...
He's not going to teach me anything.
And I want to see the look in his eyes, because his eyeballs are going to be this big.
Fight fires for a living. My eyes are going to be fucking shit.
You're... What?
Give me a break.
Oh, dude.
Dude, my ass. I've been out. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. Perez, this motherfucker, is pissing me off, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
That pass he tried on Magnussen was amateurish.
Nah, Magnussen should have given them room, I think.
No, he shouldn't have, because they were racing for points. And drink your freaking whiskey.
Oh,
and
shit.
Cheers. Perez was so far back, and
the Max and Red Bull. Cheers.
No way he was going to make that pass, and he just punts my guy Magnussen right out of the race. The same thing he did to Albon.
Your guy Magnussen. Magnussen is a blocking chicane. He's been known to get in the way of people. He had a car that was not as fast.
He should have got balls, dude.
He should have got out of the way, but he didn't. And it's like, but he's done that before. But it's like, I don't blame Perez for what he did.
I do. It was amateurish.
Yeah, whatever.
What do you mean, whatever? Why do you keep giving him a pass?
Why do you
keep giving Perez a pass? He's driving like shit. You know why he's driving like shit? Because Max Verstappen has crushed his soul. Crushed him.
Verstappen is his name.
Crushed him. And so his freaking mental stability is fucking gone. He's pressing.
Nah,
he's pressing so much. He's
the
making
car
a
is
lot.
Specifically.
Dude, he's driving the same car all fucking year. Stop
I know.
making excuses for
No,
this guy.
but the Max can drive this car better than Perez
No
can.
kidding. We all know that. Max is a really good driver.
Max is a really good driver,
He's
like a really good. And so is Perez. I don't want to take anything away.
He's not on Max's level.
How many races has he won this year?
2?
Yeah, but he's won 2 races.
Yeah, but they're street tracks.
But remember, yeah, and that's where he's good at. That's where he's good at.
Thing.
But it's like the car, the specific Red Bull they have right now.
I know you keep saying the same thing over and over.
The
audience knows this. You've said it so many times. Probably that mouse in the corner knows it by now.
Mouse high.
I mean, come on.
The car is very pointy. What I mean by pointy is the car when you go to turn it in, it doesn't want to turn, and Max can do that better than Perez can. That's it.
I know.
No, you don't know.
I do know.
You have to. I have to take him to the track now.
Oh my God! Stop it, bro.
I don't care how much it costs. I'm taking him to the track. We're gonna have 15 cameers up there, and we're gonna show him how to drive.
Dude, you need psychological help.
Well, no, I don't.
You need to see somebody.
Okay, I'm not. Okay, I love teasing Sherman because he's my best friend since I was like 12 years old, and we've been pushing each other, no matter what. Baseball, girls. Race cars,
I was better.
BMX bike. You were what? You were what?
In baseball.
Oh, you were a way better baseball player than me.
Really good.
That one year, I practiced every day. I got pretty good. But anyways, I should have been a pitcher, but that's here and there. But Sherman has never been in a race car before.
I have. Why do you keep saying that?
He's been in a... Okay, I swear to God, we're going to go to...
What's a GT3, Mike? Is a GT3 a race car?
That's a...
Is a GT3 a race car? Yes or no?
Okay.
Is a GT3 a race car?
When I take him to
Is GT3 a race
car?
car? Yes or no? Answer that question.
You went to the Porsche Super Cup Challenge?
And I raced in a GT3.
Did you win the race?
No, got my ass kicked.
Okay. The point
threw up.
The point I'm trying to make to Sherman right now is when every person I've taken to the track and I tease him like I'm teasing Sherman right now, and I'm just teasing him, and he's hating my guts right now, but he's gonna love me later.
All right,
when he learns how to drive, it's gonna be the most amazing thing of his life.
Let's
amazing.
Go back to the story.
No, and I'm taking you to shut up. I'm like, can I finish?
Go ahead.
Okay. Driving is the only way to describe it is you don't drive with the steering wheel. Did they tell you that when you were driving your little GT3?
Keep going.
You drive the car with the rear tires. When I take him up to the track and teach him how to do that right, he's going to love it, and it's going to be awesome. And on that note, what's the next thing?
Gasly was really pissed that they had to switch back on the last lap because Gasly was ahead of Ocon, and the team made him switch positions. And Gasly was like, "Why? I'm ahead of him. I qualified ahead of him."
So they finished what position again?
They finished 9th and 10th.
Why the fuck would they do that?
Because they have some rule, and at Alpine they have a rule is if I let you through to catch the next guy and you don't catch him, at the end you have to give that position.
Okay, Alpine needs
They
need a goddamn leader over there.
That's the rule.
Dumbass rule.
And that's what Ocon says. Well, I've been here for 4 years. And ever since I've been here...
and Gasly's been, this is his first year, right?
This is Gasly's first year. And Gasly's ahead of Ocon, of course.
But by a couple points, though. It's not like...
10 points, but
it's like
it's because of the DNFs that Ocon's been having.
And the car sucks. That's let's say it out loud. The
car's not sucky.
That car
I think it's
sucks.
fast. It's just not reliable.
It sucks. They don't have no leadership over there. That team is a complete disaster. It's worse than Ferrari, which I can't even believe I'm saying this.
Ferrari's been pretty good the last couple of races, actually.
They've been aight. They've
got their fucking act together.
No, they've been aight. Let's just say. Okay, Ferrari should win every fucking race. They have the greatest team in the history of Formula One. They have the greatest facilities. They have the best drivers. They have the best. They should win every fucking race. Red Bull should have never won a race ever once. Vettel should have never won a race. Max Verstappen should have never won a race. Ferrari should win they're the Yankees of Formula One. Period. The Yankees should win every year. Ferrari should win every year. This is ridiculous. I don't know what's going on over there, and we've been watching it for years. They're making these ridiculous decisions where they have the best people too, and they still screw it up.
Get a drink. Keep going.
Here, make me one.
Actually, I like this line because I was in Monza. I went to Monza.
Here, give me.
I really like where you're going with. Why are you?
You want another drink?
No, I'm good. But I like where you're going with this.
Ferrari should win every race. They have the most money. They're Ferrari. It's like Ferrari. You know, I mean, it's like ridiculous.
I like where you're going with this.
Okay, and I'm not the only person in the world saying this nonsense. Ferrari should. What the fuck?
So now that Mike is ranting and he's
look at the light came right
now. Yeah,
I'm having another drink.
Ranting. What I'd like to is what we're gonna do.
What are you ranting about?
We're gonna talk about an old driver from the past.
Who?
And give like some props to drivers of the past, because when you listen to a lot of these shows, they only talk about the here and now. But
we're talking about
bring some history about Formula One, and we really need to thank the people that have raced in the past. And if you know anything about Formula One, a lot of these drivers have given their lives to this sport. Like a lot. Like in the 70s and 80s, there's pretty much
those guys died in race cars.
Pretty much every
They would have races where guys would be on fire and dead, and the race just kept going.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Bernie Ecclestone, modern Formula One, there would be no Formula One. That dude is the dude who came in and said, "Yeah, I don't think we should have people being barbecued on TV." And he made it so they had to do. They had a guy in a car at
Jackie Stewart also was big on the.
He was, and he was
louder.
When they say he was polarizing, I hate that freaking word. It's the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
That dude was a genius. He was like, because he was in a car one time, and he was in a car that was bent, and he couldn't get out of the car, and the gas tanks used to be right here.
Yeah.
And there's gas all over him, and he would be dead.
Yeah.
And that happened to all his. He said, there's a documentary called One out there.
Great documentary.
In
my opinion, the greatest documentary of Formula
One. Like 100 and something people died in Formula One in the 70s. In the 1970s, and I'm talking about in 10 years.
1 or 2 every.
That's
every
10 years. That's 10 drivers a year died in a car.
And so what we want to talk about, we want to remember Francois Cervert.
Oh, that's right.
He raced from 1969 to 1973 at 48 races.
He was decapitated at Watkins Glen.
13 podiums.
How many races did he win?
89 career points. His first race, this is the crazy part about it. His first race
He was a really good race car
was
driver.
at Watkins Glen.
And he won.
Next year, he died at Watkins Glen.
He made a boo-boo, and if the wall was this much taller, he'd still be here. No, he'd still be here because he would have lived.
He died at 29 years old. You can see a lot.
He was 29 because Jackie Stewart was like 30 or 31 when
Yeah, Jackie was older, obviously.
But not by much, though.
No.
I mean, I didn't know he was that much younger. I didn't know he was that older. I thought he was like 20 or 21 when he died.
No, when he died, he was 29. And you could see a lot about his life in the documentary called The Quick and the Dead.
Well, the documentary one, that was the one that messed me up because I remember Jackie Stewart, or it was Mario Andretti or Jackie Stewart said, I knew 100 and something people who died in the 70s.
Well, what I like about
100 and some, when you're in the prime of your life, because the only time I've known anyone in my life who died in the prime of their life was all the gay men my mother knew when I was a kid, and they died during the AIDS, and they were they died when they were like 35 and 45, and I got used to it, and now I'm definitely not used to someone dying that young, because it was horrible. It was like I remember Harley. I don't know if you ever met Harley. Do you remember Harley?
No.
He was like the dirty old gay guy. He was so great. He was such a great man. Super fun. I mean, super dirty, super funny. It kind of reminded me of my step-grandfather, Grant. Always had a really good joke.
Yeah.
Live life to the end. and died when he was 39 fucking years old.
Oh, man.
And it was like fucking horror. And he died, and none of us were there for him. Isn't that horrible? Because we thought we were all going to get AIDS from him. You know, that's how crazy it was. Because if you get, I mean, AIDS now is like, you know, you take a pill and you're going to live. But this was a different.
But what I want to say,
but it was the same sort of. I'm trying to make a correlation between, like, these guys should have never died in a race car, ever, ever, ever. No one should ever have died in a race car because.
But they're still dying. F2 still has.
But those are freak fluke.
But there's a guy who died this year.
These are like
there's a guy who died last year.
But these were in an era where guys were catching on fire.
It's racing, though. I know.
No, they weren't dying in race. They weren't dying just in the races. They were dying in practice because they had unlimited testing.
Yep.
And the gas tanks were like here.
Yeah.
Instead of in a bladder behind
you. They didn't have a halo. They didn't have a halo.
They didn't have the halo. That's the dumbest thing ever because.
But it's saving a lot of lives.
When the halo came out, everybody hated it.
Yeah.
Until the first guy who didn't die because of the halo. When a car drove over a halo, and guess who was in that car?
Lewis Hamilton?
No, Leclerc.
Leclerc
was in the car, and he survived. Because if that halo wasn't there, he'd be a dead motherfucker right now.
Well, you know, Hamilton would have had his head ran.
Oh yeah, because of Max.
Without the halo, I think Grosjean probably wouldn't have survived. Without the
well,
halo.
I mean, we know Justin Wilson died because there was no halo.
I also think
Dan Weldon died because there was no halo.
Zhao last year, when that car went into the barrier, over the barrier, and it was crushed into it without the halo.
Without that halo, he would have been dead.
But what we want to say about Francois Cervert,
who was a great man. He was a great man, not a good man.
He had model good looks, kind of like Leclerc.
No, he was a very, very. If you ever see the documentary one that we're talking about, him and Jackie Stewart, they were like, they were best friends.
Yes,
they were best friends, and
on the same team.
And then they would go on the racetrack and try to kill each other. It was amazing.
What was great is Jackie Stewart mentored. Like, he found him.
Oh, they loved it.
They
loved each other. They loved.
And he said, "I want you to sign this guy. Watch this guy."
Most people who compete against each other, they
like
don't love.
Yeah.
Like ask Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg about each other. They were best friends, and then they were not best friends.
Yeah, which is strange because
it's not. It's not that strange.
Which is strange is Lewis and Sebastian are the best of friends now. Like they like.
Well, same thing with Alonso and Hamilton. They're fine. They're cool now, but like they weren't cool then.
But
like,
Jackie Stewart,
it would be like me and this guy. If we used to compete against each other to a point, but no money was involved. Girls were involved. Nothing was. I think if those things, you don't know what would happen. I mean, who knows how we would have behaved?
Yeah, but I think we're a little different.
No, but we're different now.
Yeah,
because remember, we were 40 years ago. We were very young.
Yeah,
we were very immature, and I don't want to say that like
I was immature. You were way more mature than I was.
No, I was not. No, I was not. No, Sherman was way more mature than me. We were both pretty aggressive, but we never got crazy with each other. It was always I always thought it was a friendly rivalry. Like, I want to kick his ass no matter what, and he wants to kick my ass.
We're on the same team sometimes.
We were always on the same team, but it was like I never wanted. It was like my little brother. My little brother never gets to win. He never gets to win.
I mean, you're only a couple months older than me.
No, I'm 3 years and 1 day older than Scott.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
No,
you're talking about Scott.
No, Scott.
Oh yeah, Scott can't win.
Scott doesn't get it, but Scott got to win. He won 10 soccer championships in a row because of me. It was because of me, not because of him. Because I never let him win, and everyone said, "Oh, let your brother win." I'm like, I'm not letting him win. Win? What? On purpose?
So I just want everyone to know that our video part of this podcast is probably going to run out since we're in minute number 55 minutes.
Man, this is going to be our longest podcast because
the podcast will keep going because we're having such a great time right now. And
we're bringing back old memories and just teasing each other.
We're just having a good time, and at the same time we're talking about F1. So this.
And I want to talk about the other thing I want to talk about is IndyCar.
You should listen to our podcast.
No, I want to talk about IndyCar for a minute.
This is why, because we just.
And we're going to have a studio.
Have a really good time.
because we're into this now, and we're gonna make this happen. We're gonna go to Sherman's house.
Oh, it's gonna be so
We're gonna
great.
build a studio. Because we gotta build one for his daughter who believes in Jesus Christ.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I believe in Jesus.
Whatever.
Don't start with that.
I'm an atheist. The German's not. Whatever.
Dude, you should not be an atheist.
I can be whatever I want. You can be whatever you want.
No,
F you. You can be whatever you want. I'm gonna be whatever I want. Here.
God is real, man.
God is not real.
God is real.
Hey, the spaceship is gonna come pick you up.
God is real.
Scientology is the worst thing ever.
Love. I just want you to know that.
Okay, remember, everybody, when you're at work, because me and this idiot are at work right now, never tell anyone who you vote for or who you pray for. That should be the first rule. Because I've been teasing him he's a Republican this week. But
I know. I'm not a Republican. I'm a card-carrying Democrat. I pay Democratic dues every year, which most people don't do. I give to campaigns. I work on campaigns.
Both of us have been voting since we were 18. Never mind.
I'm like, unfortunately, the biggest idiot who's a Democrat. But you know what?
You're not voting. He has to vote.
I'm not going to vote for Biden.
You're voting for Biden whether you like it or not. Anyways.
I'm not going to vote.
You're voting because if you don't vote...
The only good thing Biden has done, and I'm going to tell you the only...
If you don't vote, you're voting for Trump.
Listen to me. The only good thing Biden has done is he was on the picket line with the UAW. I'm a union guy.
I'm a union guy too. Local 2, baby. What's your union?
798, bro.
Local 2, baby. Come on. Phones it out.
I appreciate that President Biden was on the picket line with UAW, with the men and women that are striking in the auto industry.
There's a strike?
Yes. They want 40% more pay, which I think maybe...
40%?
Yes, that's too much. Because you can't be on the line
if they get 4%, that's
a year. That's ridiculous.
40%?
Yes, but what they're saying is if the CEO can make this much money...
How much is the CEO making, like 16 mil or something?
He got a 40% raise. So they're saying
if he gets a 40%,
then why can't
if they get a 10% raise, they're going to be super
they already offered him a 20% raise.
What? And they didn't take it?
No. I think they'll agree to something around
25, 25,
28, somewhere around
20 there. Is a lot. That's a lot.
You know what? When they're making all-time highs profits, the people and the guys and gals that are working should share in it.
My name's Mayor Mike. I'm going to be running for mayor of San Francisco in 2024. Sherman's going to be my campaign manager. I'm not going to lose. I'm going to beat London Bridge no matter what.
You're going to lose.
All we need is one benefactor.
We do.
If we can get Elon Musk to give us money, we're done, right?
True.
Think about it.
True. And you got the hair. You got the hair for it. You got the Gavin hair for
and I can fucking talk to anybody about anything.
You got the Gavin hair.
I can fucking do this, motherfucker. We can do this.
You could. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop the podcast on the video.
Well,
we're going to continue the podcast on the audio, the one where you can get at wherever you listen to podcasts, we are available. If you're on Apple, we're there. If you're on Spotify,
are we on Amazon?
We're there. If you're on Amazon, we're there.
What's the other one?
There's a whole bunch of them.
No, I was watching because
like 20 different podcasts.
I had to go to just to everyone. I just want to let everyone know I had to go to sexual harassment training today at the Marriott Corporate, and I don't think
so.
Never mind. I wasn't
in
there.
This part. So for the people watching on YouTube, we're gonna end the podcast, and we always say keep on racing.
What are we doing now?
We're going to stop that, and we're going to keep going.
I got to pee.
All right. Go. We're going to stop that, and we're going to...
Did you have dinner already?
Yeah.
What'd you have?